morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Leslie Walker at Victoria Mutual Wealth Management. I'm a wealth advisor. Alongside me today is Miss Tudi Nanko, who is also a wealth advisor. Today, we're just going to share a little to you about our company and some of the products and services we have to offer. Ms. Nanko, walk us through Victoria Mutual, or what we're about. Share with our clients.
All right, thank you so much, Leslie. So, Victoria Mutual Wealth Management, we help our clients to assist to achieve their financial independence.
Right.
We offer a wide range of investment options for both corporate and individual investors across Jamaica.
Nice.
We're a leading investment managers for both individual and all institutions across Jamaica, right? And we are also a licensed security dealer.
Great.
So one of the things that we offer or what we share with our client, we have a purpose for all our clients. And our purpose is to empower our client to grow and sustain their wealth. We also promise to offer a financial solution to our clients on an accurate and a timely basis.
Nice.
Now, we have a different variety of suites, products, and services that we offer here at VM World.
Sounds good.
So, some of which that we offer unit trusts, stocks, bonds, money market security, corporate finance, margin loan. But in the interest of time, if anyone needs more information, they can always reach out to us. But we will be speaking on the unit trust, stocks, and bonds for today.
Okay, great. All right, so on that note, let me just touch a little on the unit trust, as Tudi indicated. So the unit trust, what it is really, it's a collective investment instrument where we pool investors' money and invest in the different asset classes. So we put a little of the money in stocks, a little in bonds, a little in real estate, and a little in money market securities, depending on the client preference and risk appetite. We have currently 9 unit trust products, 4 of which are denominated in USD, as in the US dollars, and 5 in Jamaican dollars. Namely, we have the Global Income, the Global Income Plus, the Global Income Max, and the International Equity Trade, all 4 of which are denominated in USD. The first 3, which is the Global Income Plus, the Global Income, and the Global Income Max, all 3 invest primarily in bonds, both sovereign and corporate bonds. The International Equity Trade invest in the US stock market,
like S&P, that
right,
is on the New York
that's
Stock
correct.
Exchange.
The remaining 5, as I indicated, invest primarily in the local economy, right? Or the local market, rather. So we have the property fund, which invests primarily in real estate. We have our money market fund, which invests in CDs and repurchase agreement. We have our newest baby on the block, the Gold Maximizer, which is a diversified fund. So you find that a little of your money will be invested across the asset classes. So put a little in stocks, a little in bonds, a little in real estate. We also have the local equity trade. So if it is that you're interested in investing in our local stock market, you can give us the money and we'll do that for you through our
unit trust equity growth portfolio, right?
Portfolio, that's correct. So that's it for unit trust. If it is that you need additional information, myself and Tudi, we're open to providing you with that.
And just to add though, for our unit trust for the US dollars,
right,
it's 500 US to get started,
right.
And each subsequent investment would be $100.
Right.
And we do have something for everyone. If it is that you are if you are conservative, moderate, or aggressive, there's something in the unit trust for you. So what we can encourage you to do is to have a conversation with us. We will do a one-on-one just to see and to select the best one for you
based on your profile. All right, that's good, Tudi. Thank you for that. Now we're going to move on to the bonds. Now, bonds are also called credit facilities, if you may. And this is where, in layman term, companies or the government seek to borrow investors' money and agree to pay you at an interest rate over the period or the life of the bond, and then you get back your funds when the loan matures, right? You have different type of bonds. We have the sovereign bond, we have corporate bonds, we have junk bonds, which are really bad bonds.
They are bonds that go bad, but you do
right.
have persons that will buy these
Right.
bonds, hoping that the bond market or that particular bond will come back up.
Right. So it's a fixed investment instrument. So if it is that you're looking for a steady stream of income over a period of time, you have some US dollars or you have some Jamaican dollars, we are available to find that bond for you and get you started. Usually coupons are paid quarterly, semi-annually.
Right, depending on
Right.
what the contract is.
Exactly.
It can be paid every quarter, semi-annually, yearly, so
Right.
depending on what it is.
Right. And the bonds are not necessarily local. We can look at global bonds as well. So we're talking about Citibank, JP Morgan. If
Right.
it is that you see bonds in Trinidad, Bahamas, Barbados, we're available to assist you with buying those bonds.
And
as well.
one of the things that I really like about the bonds is that, you know, it helps you to achieve your minimum to long-term goals or
right.
objective. You get income from it,
Right,
the
that's
stability on
that's
it,
correct.
and the returns on it is great.
Right. So, I mean, we're available to talk more with you as it relates to bonds, but we'll just stop there for now. What are the next products that we offer?
So we'll be talking a little bit about stocks,
Okay.
right? And for us, what we normally say, there's two ways that you can invest at VM
Right.
with stocks.
Okay.
So we had mentioned in the unit trust before,
Right.
our classic equity portfolio. If it is that you don't want to manage your stocks, you can go ahead and purchase these units in that portfolio in order to get some stocks in your portfolio.
Right.
Or you can sign up with us for the J-Trade at your own terms.
Right.
And what I like about it, it can be like a home,
Right.
because we all know like a 9 to 5 may not assist you with getting your goals in
right.
order.
So
So
true.
I mean, trading can be a second source of income for you.
That's true. Also, we mention of local stock, but we also facilitate international stock trade. So if it is that you want to invest in the international market, there are two ways to do that as well, as you mentioned. We have the interactive broker
Platform.
arrangement, right, that allows our clients to trade on the international market, as well as if it is that you want to give your funds to us, our fund manager can actually put that in a unit trust, and then we trade stock for you on that international platform.
Right.
As well.
And one of the other thing that we need to mention also is that it's easy to trade on the J-Trader platform,
yeah.
and our fee is 0.75%,
which is the lowest.
which is one of the lowest, right?
Not one of.
It is the lowest. So that's one of the good ways in which you can, you know, take up the opportunity. It gives you the chance to trade. And you probably wonder, how is it that I'm going to trade? I can tell you it's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Right.
So the only thing you need to do is to contact us. We'll open the account for you. Once the account is open, we send you your JCSD number. We send you the link to go on the platform, and then you can just fund your account, and that's it. You trade.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
And all of these accounts that we mention, you know, to get into these accounts, we have requirements. So we would need like your ID, TRN,
Right.
proof of address, payslip, and references.
Right.
You can contact us for more details if it is that you need to know who are the references or what is it that you need to do.
Right.
You can always contact us. And before we leave the stocks, I just want to say that stocks it help you with, or you get capital gains from
From
it.
it, right?
The opportunity for bonus shares. Also for if it is that the stock you're gonna have a stock split,
Right.
and also the dividend
The
that will
dividend.
be paid.
Okay, thank you very much, Tudi. And as promised, those are the three things that we will share with you for today. And as Tudi said, we are always available to assist you. So if it is that you're interested, you can feel free to reach out to us at any time. I
Right.
mean, anytime we're available on WhatsApp, you can give us a call. We are available.
Right, and my number is 877-9985. That's 877-9985. You can also email me at Tudi, that's TUDIE .nanco, NANCO, at myvmgroup.com.
Right, and my number is 2799365, and you can email me at Leslie, that's LESLIE .walker at myvmgroup.com. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Essence Monroe Douglas and welcome to part 2 of estate planning. This is legal matters. Last week we learned about preserving your estate, and we learned of what exactly we call estate. We looked at things like assets that you own outside of your physical properties, your land, your house. We looked at things like your shoes, your clothes, your bank accounts, things that you get. Those things form part of your estate. We also looked at how you preserve your estate. Documents that are important to preservation, such as your powers of attorney, whether it be a general power of attorney, your specific power of attorney, or your medical power of attorney. We also look at living trust. This week, we will be looking at distributing your estate upon death. Very important. Many of us during our lifetime, we just look at acquiring our assets and utilize it while we're alive. But we really don't stop to plan wisely. How do we distribute our assets when we die? We know we cannot do this outside of legal documents, and we want to ensure that our loved ones benefit from our estate. At the end of the day, we do not want to acquire our estate and then all of it is lost, destroyed, or taken away. So listen as I explain to you how you distribute your estate upon death. Ask yourself 2 questions. Who do you want to inherit your assets when you die? And whom do you want handling your assets when you die? A good estate plan minimizes the cost of taxes. It minimizes estate costs which your loved ones will incur, and certainly it avoids family squabbles. Now, taxes, whether you're alive or dead, taxes are payable. And there are certain costs that the estate will incur. And you don't want at the end of the day your beneficiaries get little to nothing. So plan wisely. Oftentimes, as attorneys, we see family squabbles in the court. Once somebody dies, the matters end up in court. Each side is fighting for what they think they should get. Somebody felt that they were left out by some way or another, whether it be the will or even administration. And so parties go before the court fighting each other. And at the end of the day, all your hard work would not have paid off because your assets are depleted in cost. These things do cost. So to avoid family squabbles, ensure you plan wisely. And certainly a bad estate plan will see the beneficiaries getting next to nothing after your death. And you don't want that. So let's look at the powerful document called the will. It is said that the will speaks from the grave. It is a document by which a testator or testatrix, testator is simply the male and testatrix the female. The will dictates what assets are given to the beneficiaries upon death. You appoint an executor to administer your estate. It's best to appoint 2 executors in your will. So when your will is being drafted, think about 2 persons who you trust to deal with your assets for you when you die. Do not choose somebody who will not run around and push to get things done. So persons who are very elderly, do not put them as executors if they are unable to move about. You need somebody who is fit and able. So even if the person is elderly, they must be fit and able to move about. Choose someone you trust. Sometimes when you put executors, they do not want to act. They cannot bother with the court process. They cannot bother with collecting assets or distributing. They just cannot bother with the headache. So choose persons who you know will look about the interest of your loved ones. The executor is a person who can be sued by anybody. And the executor is also the person who can sue on behalf of your estate to get assets that belong to you that did not form part of your estate while you were alive. So choose somebody who is formidable. You can choose a beneficiary. So when you are making a will, you can choose a beneficiary because by law, the executor should be paid from the estate. So if you choose a beneficiary, the beneficiary simply take their benefit and not be paid from the estate. But if you cannot choose a beneficiary, choose someone who you know will act. Now the executor must act as soon as the testator has died. What are the duties of this executor? Well, the executor must first secure the will. Oftentimes, when persons know where the will is, family members will grab it and run off with it and you never see the will again. So the executor must secure the will. It's important when you make your will to not tell everybody where it is, but tell your executor. So just in case you pass on, the executor knows exactly where to go for the will. The executor will then prove the will in the court through obtaining a grant of probate. Of course, he will take the will to an attorney at law to deal with the process for him or her. Then he collects all the assets, secure them. Oftentimes when persons die, they clear up the house. I'm sure you have heard that term before. Even before you can get there, so many things are missing. I had an experience one where a client told me the person died and before an hour passed, family members came and they cleared everything, including the ring off the finger. So, if you choose a wise executor, somebody who will act, you will get back those assets. Because immediately the executor started working and called the police to ensure that the assets were returned. So those are the duties of the executor. The executor will also pay the debts of your estate. Everything that is owing, he or she will pay. And then when the probate process is complete, distribution to the beneficiaries. Now it is important that the estate is distributed within the specified time so as to minimize the cost of taxes. And I'll explain further what that means. Now looking at who can make a will. That person must have the necessary testamentary capacity. Very big word, but it simply means you must be of sound mind when you are making your will. You cannot be suffering from Alzheimer's. You cannot be in a mental state that you're unable to decipher what you are doing. You must be of sound mind. If it can be proven that the will was made when you are not of sound mind, it can be challenged and it will fail. So it's important to know that. You must at least be 18 years old. So someone who is under 18 cannot make a will. You must know and approve the contents of your will. So even if you're unable to write it, persons who are, whether they have lost their sight or for whatever reason they're unable to write the will themselves, you must know the contents and approve it. So it must be read over to you, and when you understand and approve it, then you can sign it. You must not make your will under undue influence, fear, or fraud. Oftentimes when persons are getting up in age, family members come and force them to make their will. That is not right. You must not have any undue influence. You must be free to make your will at any time and do it the way you want to do it. In fact, your will is a private document. You ought not to be showing everyone or even telling persons that you're making your will. Only persons you need to tell you have made your will are your two witnesses, because you need two witnesses to attest to your signature. The contents of the will must not be shown to them or anyone. Though importantly, when you have made your will and you secure it, you put it away in a safe place. But you can revoke that will. No, there are certain ways you can revoke the will. And revoke, I mean by making it null and void. Your subsequent marriage. Suppose you were married, you divorced and you remarried. But you made a will while you were married or even while you were divorced. When you get married again, you cannot have that will. It is deemed to be revoked. Another will later in time will also revoke that will. But note that divorce does not revoke a will. So if you made a will and you were married and you thought that when you got divorced it's not valid, it is still valid. You need to know these things. A document made by the testator declaring an intention to revoke will also revoke. And of course, burning, tearing, or other means of destruction such as shredding can revoke the will. But in short, any of these means that you use is properly done. We have seen persons cut the will in two and other persons paint and tape it back together. It will still be valid unless there's a later will in time or a document declaring the will invalid or revoked. Now, when you have made your will, the statute that affects your will is your Inheritance Provision for Family Dependents Act. This act allows certain members of the deceased family to apply for financial provision. And that is why when you're making your will, sit properly, think about it, know who you need to put in the will, who you need to make a benefit for. Because if you don't do it correctly, persons can challenge the will and seek a provision order in the court. Who are these persons? The categories of persons that can make an application to the court if they reasonably believe that no financial provision or adequate financial provision was not made for them are the spouse of the deceased, so the husband or the wife, a child of the deceased, a parent or a former spouse. These are persons who can apply to the court. What is the criteria for financial provision? The court looks at the deceased's conduct towards the applicant. So the person who is applying, they look at how you treated that person while you were alive. Whether you were a source of income to them, you assisted them throughout their lifetime. The court also looks at the mental and physical disabilities of the applicant. So if the applicant is disabled in any way or they are suffering from mental disability, then the court will give them a provision. And of course, the court takes into consideration the size of your estate. Importantly, we need to know what goes in the will. We mentioned earlier all the assets that you own that you never thought of. Your books, your clothes, your shoes, your car, bank accounts, your land, your house, even your pension. these things form part of your estate. Monies that are due to you that you did not get. We want to look at property. How is property held, and which property you can put in your estate? Well, property is held solely. Those that are held solely, you are sole proprietor on the title, that forms part of your estate and it passes on debt, so you can put that in your will. Property that is held jointly, automatically passes to the surviving joint tenant. Do not put jointly held properties in your will, because on your debt it simply goes to them. And that is good, because they don't have to go through a probate process and incur so much cost to pass it. And I'll explain a little later on that. We have tenants in common. That's the third way of owning property. Your portion that belongs to you is what you will put in your will. So if you own half of the title, put that in your will. If it's 1/3 or 40/60, however it is, you put your share. Now, when you have made your will and you secure it, and the probate process goes through, then the beneficiaries will benefit. But if it fails, then everything falls in testacy. Now, what is this? This is a state in which a person dies without making a will, or when the will is made, it fails during the probate process. In intestacy, there's no guarantee the right person will get the benefit. There's just no guarantee, and so it is important that you make your will. Now, under intestacy, who are your primary beneficiaries? These would be the widow, the common law spouse, your children, or your deceased parents. Those are primary. Secondary beneficiaries now, brothers and sisters, grandparents, uncles and aunts. And if none of these persons come forward, then the government will take it. When there is an intestacy, the Administrator General of Jamaica is the competent authority to act. And also, where executors of a will refuse to act, then the Administrator General can be brought in the picture to act. An attorney must be retained in estates that are valued over $100,000. But where minors are involved, even if it's over $100,000, the Administrator General is still the competent authority to act. Estates that are below $100,000, the Administrator General is that person to act. So I hope that is clear. You will go to an attorney at law where the estate is over $100,000 and there are no minors. That is usually a lengthy process. It takes so much time, more than if you had left a will. The probate process takes far less time. Now, outside of your will, you can put a testamentary trust in place, and this is usually set up in your will. It takes effect upon the death of the testator. Now, the trust is set up under the following circumstances. So this is separate and apart, and it is so different from your living trust, because even though you have put it in the will while you're alive, it does not take effect until you die. Where minors are involved, you can set up a trust, and where the beneficiary have diminished mental capacity or physical capacity, you can set up a trust there. And of course, when you want to ensure that your assets are dealt with wisely, so you have children, and say your child at age 12, you died, you left assets in the will to ensure the child gets through to high school, but when that child gets to 18, they still don't think they would have been competent to deal with all that they need to inherit. The trust will take them up to 24 years old. You will determine that, and then you will determine how much they get at what time. So that is critical. A testamentary trust is critical. Now let's look at winding up the estate. So when all is said and done, the will is the only document that speaks from the grave. Whether it be your will without a trust or your will with a testamentary trust. Let's look at winding up now. Where probate or administration is successful, the estate's representative can proceed to transfer to the beneficiaries. There is transfer tax that is payable before the estate passes. Now we know that whether in life or in death, tax is payable. But transfer tax on death is 1.5%. For the principal place of residence, transfer tax, if you apply for it, will be waived. The stamp office will consider it and it will be waived. Other things to put in when you are dealing with matters: death duties, mortgages and funeral expenses. These can all reduce the taxes. So when your attorney is dealing with your revenue affidavit, you must tell them how much you paid on funeral expenses, what death duties are involved. All these things will help when it's assessed at the stamp office to be reduced. The tax must be assessed within 3 years after the deceased has died in order not to incur a penalty or an interest of 6%. And this is per year. So after 3 years, the longer you take is the more you end up paying. And I know you don't want that for your estate. So that is why it is critical to choose an executor who will act as soon as you die, so that distribution takes place within the first 3 years of death. And remember, all properties are assessed at current market value. Tools to reduce expenses. Now we mentioned your intervirus transfers, so your love and affection transfers. I normally encourage clients to pass the gift while they are alive. But for whatever reason, if you cannot pass it while you're alive, then you will do your will. But usually, love and affection transfers, at the end of the day, less money is spent. So you want to be wise when you are planning your estate. A proper estate plan is critical. It's critical to ensure your beneficiaries get their benefits. It is critical to reduce cost, and it is critical to ensure that all that you have worked for will not be lost. So a wise estate plan will see all this taking place. I hope you have learned much today, and at the end of the day, I hope you will put in place a plan that is successful, a plan that will see your estate enlarged, a plan that will see your estate preserved, and a plan that will see your estate distributed properly upon your death. So for reasons stated above, it is important to have an effective estate plan. As I close, I want you to remind yourself of Proverbs 13 verse 22. Many of us know this already, that's why it's a reminder. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So don't just think about the here and now. Don't just think about yourself. Don't just think about the present moment, but look down the line to future generations and leave an inheritance for your children's children. And so I say goodbye for now. We have come to the end of our estate planning and, of course, legal matters.
everyone, my name is David Graham and I am a first year nursing student at the Northern Caribbean University. When I just applied at NCU, trust me, I did not have a cent to my name. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. And I met this wonderful young lady that introduced me to the Whale program. I know of the Whale program, but I did not really know the benefits of the Whale program. So I did the application. I prayed over that application because trust me, I knew that God would come through for me. I prayed with my mother until one day I got a phone call and the phone call said, "Congratulations, David." That's when I started to jump. I didn't even want to hear anything else. As long as you say congratulations, I know I won something. And when the gentleman explained to me of, the situation and said, I said, thank you, God. I know that that's you showing up in my life. So what I can say, guys, whenever you're at your wit's end or your lowest point, that's the time when God really shows up for you. Trust me. And because I've gotten that Wheel grant, that's how I was able to start Northern Caribbean University. So I just want to say again, thank you so much for Wheel. You've really truly done a lot for me. You've gotten me one step closer to my dream. Thank you, Wheel.
My name is Andrew Howell. I am a current high school student at the Willardine Group of Schools. I was presented with this laptop to help me with my online classes and my SBA, and it will assist me perfectly with my studies. I am very, very happy that I was presented with this gift of gratitude by the Wheel Foundation, because without them, it would not have been possible for me to have a laptop of my personal use so that I will be able to pass my studies. I needed to use to help me to complete my SBA so that I may present them to my teachers on time so that I will get the grade that I am seeking in my CXE studies. I aim to leave the school with all my studies and get all grade 1s in all of them. And this laptop that I have been presented with, and with the help and the motivation of the Wheel Foundation that I have received, I now believe that I truly can do it.
I am Dr. Jardine Spalding O'Hara, and today I'll be talking about a topic that persons tend to shy away from: dementia. In the medical world, we call it neurocognitive disorder, whether major or mild. And so, for our elderly population, who tend to be a vulnerable group, they tend to be one of the major persons that get this disorder. But please note, this can happen even in the young. So you have irreversible and reversible dementia. And so some of the reversible ones could be nutritionally. So for our young persons, if you have sexually transmitted diseases, if you have, for instance, B12 deficiency, if you're a strict vegetarian, the Rastafarians and some of our Adventist members, if you're strictly eating plant-based diet without B12 supplements, you are at risk of getting your cognitive disability from the B12 deficiency, but that can be reversed if you correct that nutritional deficit. But to our main focus, our elderly population, who would have spent so much energy on us growing up, they would have cared for us. You know, grandma would have given you your sweetie and would have prevented mommy or dad from beating you. So when they're now in their time of need, we need to take care of them. So for dementia, some of the things we need to look out for is if they ever had hypertension, diabetes, if they have ever had a stroke, that could put them at risk of vascular dementia. If dementias tend to run in the family, they could be at risk of Alzheimer's. And then there are other types of persons who, you know, would have been in boxing at a young age. They are at risk of dementia as well. So some of the signs to look out for is any memory changes. So whether short-term impairment, not remembering the dates, not remembering what happened yesterday, and also long-term things, remembering past events. You need to look out for changes in their attention. They're not able to focus, they can't remember simple numbers or simple instructions. We have to look out for what we call perceptual motor, so they might not be able to comb their hair, they might easily get confused where they are. They go from bathroom and coming back. Their language could be impaired, they could be talking strangely, the speech could be impaired, as well as what we call executive function. They're not able to plan things, they're not able to follow sequences, they're not able to organize. And finally, their social skills can be affected. You realize they start getting boisterous and loud or dressing inappropriately. And so we need to look out for this population. And so if your family, you suspect that they do have dementia, it's important to take them to see your general physician, who will determine if they need to refer them to a psychiatrist, because they might need medication to control some of the behavior. Some persons might have hallucinations, see things that aren't there, believing things that aren't true, hearing voices, and so they would need medication to correct that. They might also have problems with their sleep. So what we normally employ: sleep hygiene, ensure you're getting exercise, ensure you're not having any caffeinated beverages, getting some chamomile tea, not having the TV in the room or on the phone at night. So those are some things to help with sleep. And of course, you need to ensure that they're getting all their nutritional food and drink. You have to keep them hydrated, because many times they might want to eat less. And so we say, okay, grandma don't want anything, but we have to ensure they're getting all their vitamins and minerals. And so some of the simple things that you need to know as I wrap up with dealing with the elderly: ensure if you're giving them instructions, you're not telling them something and then the TV's on, the radio's on, multiple persons speaking to them, because they have impairment in the attention. So it's harder for them to retain information with everything going on. Use memory aids. So you can put a big calendar on the fridge that changes the date. You can have a clock that tells the time. You can label food items. Ensure that they're not driving alone, or driving if that's the case. Ensure that they are not going anywhere alone. Collect their medications. You know, we have to do our part. Ensure they're getting their exercise, their nutritional food, sunlight. We have to do our part, and most importantly, do not abuse our elderly brothers and sisters. They might be boisterous, they might say things that they don't mean, but we have to be the one that is in the good mental health to actually be calm, be understanding, and give them the help that is needed. So that was just a quick synopsis on dementia. For more information, feel free to ask your general practitioner or go to your nearest hospital if the need arises. Thank you so much, and do have yourself a great day.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'll be doing a brief presentation on breast cancer. Now, breast cancer is very important as it affects many women, not only in Jamaica, but across the world. And therefore, we're going to talk about it today. Now, it's this small part of the body that is located on the anterior chest. And it's loved by many, it's important for many reasons, and therefore, this is why we're going to talk about it. Now, it's the most common cancer in women, and it's the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in Jamaica. Now, in 2010 to 2014, we had 1,634 women dying from breast cancer. Now, that is 400 women per year. Can you imagine that? Now, in developing countries like Jamaica, persons will die more from breast cancer in comparison to first world countries. Now, breast cancer mainly affects female, but it can occur in males. Usually affects females over 50 years, and other risk factors that can predispose a person to getting breast cancer is if a young woman sees her period early or they have late menopause, if they do not breastfeed their young, if it is that they have kids over the age of 30 years old, if it is that they have a genetic predisposition, which includes the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 gene, and that is one of the genetic studies that can be done. So we have a famous actress that actually removed both her breasts because she found out that she had one of the gene, and because of the risk factors associated with this gene, this is why she did remove both her breasts, and that actress is Angelina Jolie. Now, if you also have a history of breast cancer or have some other type of mass in the breast, that can also predispose you to having breast cancer. Now, the main focus of my presentation today will be the fact that breast self-examination is very important. It should be done monthly, and once it is done often, it will definitely assist in picking up any cancerous lesions from an earlier stage and therefore can improve in treatment down the line. So breast self-examination should be done monthly, and there are two aspects of breast self-examination. There's a visual inspection, meaning that you're looking at that part of the body, and also the manual inspection. This is where you get to feel the breast to feel for any lumps. Now, the visual inspection will start by just looking at the breast, looking at how it looks. You're looking for different signs. So what you're looking for is dimpling of the breast. Just like how you see a dimple on the cheek, you can see dimples on the breast, and that is not normal. You can also look for the nipple pulling in. So normally the nipple points out. So if you see the nipple pulling in, then that's also a suspicious thing to look for. So we're also looking at the manual inspection. So you put yourself in a particular position, which I'll show you, and you are feeling for any lumps or any change in the contour of the breast. So for the visual inspection, you start by placing one of your hands behind your head. So whichever side you're about to examine, you place it behind your head, right? So you place, say, the left hand behind the head, and you are looking in the mirror to see what the breast looks like. So as I said before, you're looking for the dimpling, you're looking for any mass that pops out, you're looking for any pulling in of the nipples. Another position that you will also do is to put both hands on the hips, and you're tensing that chest wall, because that can also bring out some of the signs and the symptoms. Now, when doing your examination, you put the hand behind the head and you're either going in a circular manner from outer inward, or you're going up and down along the breast to examine same. Now you're looking for any lumps, any change in how it looks, right? You're looking for any discharge from the breast. If it is that you're not pregnant and you're having milk being produced from the breast, if you're having a bloody discharge, that is all not normal, and therefore you should seek medical attention. Now, a part of the breast that some persons forget to examine is the part of the breast that we call the tail of the breast. Now, the tail of the breast extends into the armpit. So you have to feel that aspect of the breast as well, because sometimes lumps can start in those areas and it is a part of the breast, so it needs to be examined. So once it is that you have discovered a lump in the breast, you are going to be required to do certain investigation. Now, depending on your age and how large your breasts are, that determines what type of investigation that we do. So we have the ultrasound and also the mammogram that a lot of persons know. Now, one important thing to note is that mammograms, once it is that you reach 40 years old, you're supposed to do your mammograms yearly. And the more often you do the mammogram, it's the smaller the size that the doctor will be able to pick up on the mammogram of that mass. And therefore, you can start treatment early. If it is that you have a high risk factor, like what we were discussing before, meaning that you are 50 years and older, you started having kids very late, then you may want to start to do your mammogram early. Now, there are different types of lesions that the ultrasound and the mammogram can pick up. However, that will be discussed between you and your doctor. Now, once it is that a lesion is found, we next go to sampling that lesion. So there are different ways, we call it a biopsy, and there are different types of biopsy that can be done. However, the most common and the most effective one to be done is called a core needle biopsy. So it's just like getting an injection, but it's a much larger needle that is used, and it takes a piece of that mass that is within the breast and it's sent for a study. So they're looking for different things to figure out what type of cancer it is, and that will help them to determine how aggressive the cancer is, and also in terms of treatment with chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So after it is that we have sampled the lesion, the next thing we think about is surgery. So we're going to do surgery. The surgery is dependent upon the size of the lesion and if it is that we're able to take out all of the cancer, right? So some persons will remove a section of the breast, some persons will remove the entire breast, and it varies from person to person, and that will be discussed with your doctor. The other part of treatment will be chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Now, Breast Cancer Month is celebrated in October, and it is really done to bring awareness to the disease because it affects so many women and it's so common, and therefore the country is trying to get, not only the country but the world is trying to get persons to start their investigation early, start their breast self-examination from early, and therefore they can pick up the lesion smaller and persons end up not dying from the condition. Now, there are different natural ways to fight cancer in terms of prevention. So we're not talking about cure, but more so prevention. And so we have the tomatoes, the avocados that we call pear. You have flaxseed oil, garlic, broccoli. There are different types of vegetables that can help to prevent cancer. We also have the soursop, sorrel, and we have a doctor here in Jamaica that did investigations for guinea hen weed that everybody knows, and it is also found to help to prevent breast cancer. Now, whenever certain substances are introduced to the body, it can cause something called free radicals. Now, the free radicals affect our genetic makeup and can predispose us, can lead us to having abnormal mutations of the cell and lead to cancer formation. Now, there are different types of supplements that can be taken to prevent this, and there are some vitamins that can help to prevent this as well. So vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, all of this can help to prevent the free radicals from developing and therefore affecting our genetic makeup. So there are some popular persons that have survived breast cancer, and therefore it's very important for us to play an active part in this condition and doing our breast self-examination to pick up this disease condition early. So we have Vivica Fox, Angela King, we have Miss Venezuela. When she was just 28, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. We have a TV show host. We have even our very own politician, Ronald Thwaites. He also had breast cancer, and he's a male. So breast cancer, we need to be more open to understanding what it is. We need to practice our breast self-examination monthly. We can include our partner in doing this examination, because they're the ones that sometimes pick up the abnormality.
Welcome to our per hour. Using the meeting ID and password shared below and in the chat, you will gain access to our prayer room from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. There, in privacy and comfort, you can make your live requests as our prayer ministers are standing by to assist. Feel free to click and share the link with others as we take everything to God in prayer.
As sin demanded justice for my soul, mercy said no, I'm not gonna let you go, I'm not gonna let you slip away, you don't have to be afraid. Mercy said no, sin will never take control. Life and death stood face to face as darkness tried to steal my heart away. Thank you, Jesus. Mercy said no. Mercy said no. I'm not gonna let you go. I'm not gonna let you slip away. You don't have to be afraid. Mercy said no. Sin will never take control. Life and death stood face to face as darkness tried to steal my heart away. Thank you, Jesus. Mercy said no. And now when heaven looks at me, it's through the blood of Jesus, reminding me of one day long ago. Oh, mercy said no.
You are inside the prayer hour. Using the meeting ID and password displayed on the screen and in the chat, you will gain access to our prayer room from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. There, in privacy and comfort, you can make your live requests as our prayer ministers are standing by to assist. Feel free to click and share the link with others as we continue to take everything to God in prayer.
Moving in our midst, I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, night in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Hey, waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you.
Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all of the works thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God, his Son, not sparing, sent him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away sin. Great thou art, how great thou art. Then sing my Savior God to thee. How great
the outer court, into the holy place, and past the brazen altar. Lord, I long to see your face. Pass me by the crowds of people and the priests who sing their praise. Lord, I hunger and thirst for your righteousness, and it's only found one place. Take me into the holy of holies, and take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me into the holy of holies, and take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. Take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. Bring me in the inner court, and past the golden light, and through the incense altar. Lord, I long to see your light. Let me touch the colored curtain, and clothe in linen white, and part the veil that's hanging, oh, that keeps you from man's sight. So take me into the holy of holies, and take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me in to the holy of holies, and take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. So take me into the holy of holies, and take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me in to the holy of holies, and take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. And take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. I really want to know you again. I really want to see you again. As in the days of Moses, pass over me with your spirit. And as in the days of Moses, hide me in the clefts of the rock. Do not hide your spirit from me. See your face to face, for I was made to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, the Lord. So take me to the holy of holies, and take me in by the blood of the Lamb. Take me into the holy of holies, and take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. And take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am. Just take the coal, cleanse my lips. Here I am.
just believe that we need to worship Yahweh with all of our hearts.
You are the God who was, who is, and is to come.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. And in you I trust, my life is in your hands.
Come on, everybody. Jesus.
Jesus, you are the miracle working God.
Oh, shall we sing that one more time? Come on, come on.
You are the God who was, who is, and is to come.
Oh,
Jesus. And in you I trust, my life is in your hands. Jesus, you are the miracle working God.
I want to hear you sing.
You are Yahweh. 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 Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh. Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh. 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 Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh. Alpha and Omega.
For the final time, Yahweh.
You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. Alpha
trophies and crowns, and my robe stained with sin was all that I had to lay at his feet.
Unworthy to eat from the table of life, till I've made provisions for me, and I will glory in the cross, lest his suffering all be in vain. And now I will weep no more for the cross that he bore. I will glory in the cross, in the cross, in the cross, be my glory ever. Weep no more for the cross that he bore. I will glory, I will glory, I will glory in the cross.
Thank you for joining us for the prayer hour. Tune in again tomorrow between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m., where we will again take everything to God in prayer.
Well, Phoebes, I'm so happy to know that you are spearheading such an awesome event in the ministry. I want you to know that I have a special place in my heart for all girls and all young women. Why? Because I remembered my younger years, the challenges that I encountered, and the outcome of the many mistakes I made. But when you are young, one tends to exude strength, boldness, and perseverance. Sometimes this is only because you emulate other women that you are close to. A grandmother, your mother, your older sister, or even an aunt. There are so many demands and expectations from you. However, you can ace it. In order to live up to the role of being a classic Christian young woman, you must first know who you are and where you want to go. Quoting Melissa Etheridge, you are more powerful than you know. You are beautiful as you are. You are all beautiful. So look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So you're going to start to walk and talk with that fact in mind. Remember that God is great and merciful. And to show how grateful we are to Him, whatsoever we do, whatsoever we say, we will honor His name. I love you all. Be classy. Stay beautiful. God bless you.
Phoebe P. Priceless. You were bought with a price, a cost that makes you worth far more than rubies and diamonds. Never question your value. H. Holy. You are part of a holy people set aside for His use. O. Original. No one else is like you. You are the only one created with your DNA. This makes you special. E. Eager. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Always seek to know God and share Him with others. Be blessed. You are blessed beyond measure. Why? You are a child of the King. You are royalty, so keep your head high. E. Excellence. Young lady, you embody the word excellence. Everything you set out to do, you excel above the rest.
We hear you. We are ready to stand by you. We want to stand with you. Do me a favor. Invite all young women aged 18 to 35 to this community of women. We are ready to stand with you. We need you. We need every one of you. So let us be more committed to God in 2021. I look forward to seeing you soon.